In the black culture, they call me spot on Ghapi every time. Hey Ghapi, play us a song, man. At a certain stage, our house was known as the swingers house. There's been a woman that wanted to have my kids.
Oh, there were many of them.
Or they would like pull at their breasts and say, sign here.
It's not very compromised.
If it's not a nice breast.
Hello, exclusive fam. Today's guest needs no introduction, but we're going to give one anyway. This is someone whose talent speaks louder than headlines, whose work you've definitely seen, heard, or felt, even if you didn't realize it at the time. They're respected, well-known, wildly gifted, and quietly shaping culture in ways most people don't even notice. A true powerhouse behind the scenes and in front of the spotlight. Let's get into it. Welcome, Ingrid Botha and her husband, Dozi. I beg your pardon.
I'm sure.
I mean Jason Hinch. I mean Ghapi.
Thank goodness.
Okay, guys, jokes aside. Ghapi and Ingrid, welcome to the exclusive. It's so awesome having you both here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Wasn't being here.
And it's it could have been prompted that.
Okay, so Ingrid, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
Tell us the journey from Botha to Botha.
So I was friends with Ghapi's middle brother, Andries, and he invited me to his 16th birthday party. And at the birthday party, I met older brother Philip Botha, and I was like, oh, I'm going to marry this one day.
Did you have like a feeling where you were just like, that's going to be my husband? Or
If I sit here and, because people ask that question, and I was like, even when I answer it myself, it's like, oh, that sounds like so weird. I think I saw his eyes, and he was literally on the ground, busy fiddling with his double bass pedal. And I said, we got introduced, and he just turned around and he looked up at me. And I'm like, oh, wow. So maybe it was the look in his eyes. Maybe it was a feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you have like a fan crush, it is so far away from you. It's so far out of your league.
Yeah.
It's out of your reach. So I never thought that this will actually go over into a relationship. Never. No, I didn't have, because at the time I was 14 years old, so I wasn't allowed to go out, legally.
And our folks were super strict.
Yeah, I grew up in a very, very, very conservative Afrikaans household. So I wasn't allowed to go out. And so no posters, because where would I get a poster? And it would give it away if I would ask one of his brothers who were in a band with him, like, oh, can I please have a poster of you? So, and that was like my biggest secret, is no one was allowed to know that I was in love with him. And funny enough, well, I was 14, and at the time I was in a relationship. And, because this was never a reality. This was just like, okay, it's my friend's older brother, and he is so hot, and he is amazing, and but it's so far away from me. And then later on, when I was allowed to go out, I was like a super groupie. I went to every single gig.
So, sorry for interrupting. So, this is what Ingrid looked like when she went out in the 90s. She was a biker chick. She was always in leathers. Long, tall, skinny chick with long blonde hair, with his bike in all black. I mean, it's like...
So nothing's changed.
But the thing is, in those days, in 1996, none of my friends were riding bikes. Everybody's like, what is wrong with this chick? And I didn't have like a scooter. I had like a proper bike.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And everybody's like, no, she's weird. She's a biker.
She's a proper rock and roll chick.
But obviously we were friends, and I was hanging out at the gigs, and we started dating. I think 6.5 years later, or 6 years later, we started dating. And then eventually, after 6 years, on 9/11, so I always said I was never going to get married. I never wanted to be someone's something. And I ended up being Ghapi's wife. Very annoying. I have zero identity. I'm just someone's something. He left home early to go set up for a gig. And here comes the news. And we saw planes flying into buildings. And it was so upsetting. And that day, it's like, okay, is this now the Third World War? What's going to happen here? That was just like, everybody that day was like, oh, where are we going? And we're like, okay, should this be the beginning of the end, then what are we going to do? What have we not done together? And we're like, okay, should we get married?
Yeah.
And we decided to get married. So that was obviously 9/11.
So was that impulsive, like just a spur of the moment thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but I mean, I knew since I was 14 that I was going to marry the worm.
I mean,
the
we've only been
was
together
taking
by
his
then
time.
for 6 years already.
Yeah.
So I suppose, you can't have the cow for free. You can't have, no, what's the saying? You can't have the milk for free and not buy the cow. What's that saying? How does it go again? Can't drink the milk, but
So the actual saying is, if you get the milk for free, you will never buy the cow. So we took the diary and we're like, okay, when are we getting married? And I paged through the diary. In those days, he was still performing with the band Georgia, and they were very popular at the time. So they were booked like months in advance. And the first open date was the 2nd of February, 2002. And we're like, okay, we're getting married on the 02/02/02.
That's cool.
And the fun part is I was born Botha. So Ingrid Botha, trouwde met hulle Botha.
we kept it in the family. That's why we
It
shouldn't
is
have
so,
any kids.
yeah. That's why we didn't have kids, because maybe they just end up
Oh,
with
we
a
should.
nose on the side of their face. But I mean, it was so easy. It was like, I didn't have to change an ID, no passport, no nothing. It's just like smooth sailing. I just married.
So now it's out.
Married the
Probably-
worm.
And now it's many years later, and I'm still married to the worm.
But I mean, it's interesting if you think about it. I mean, after school, I was never too bothered when it came to relationships or girls, because I was just music crazy. I ended up eventually going out with a girl that I met in the circus, an English girl from Yorkshire, a Yorkshire lass.
Okay.
We broke up beginning of 1996, and Ingrid was sent. The Lord sent Ingrid
Yeah.
on my way. That's a fact, and I'm super grateful for that. So
Yeah.
it's super cool.
So how,
And we
how long
work
have you been
together.
married now?
We are married now for 23 years. So Ingrid went through the stage where she wore like vampire teeth.
Oh,
and I
that
hated
was amazing.
I hated it. I thought
love
she looked terrible with it, but she was into the whole vampire.
Was this before or after you were married?
So this was just
This-
before we got married. I
So
started wearing
that was
teeth.
what was
Yeah,
prolonging
no.
it.
So no. So I got the teeth I think we were engaged at the time I got the teeth, and I got white contact lenses.
And she wanted to bloody vampire teeth. I mean, I
Yeah,
thought to
and then-
myself, this chick is
You were just
crazy.
like into it.
He still said to me, I don't care what you wear on our wedding day, but if those teeth are in your mouth, I'm walking away. So I got married without my teeth. I got married in black leather,
I got
rode in
married
with
without my teeth.
yeah, and no
Love
teeth.
it.
But so jump a couple of years ahead, we had a Ramstein concert, and Ingrid is there with a mohawk,
And the
like all leathery, with the teeth.
And my teeth.
And the sound engineer of Ramstein, because we always try and book tickets in the Golden Circle
Yeah.
area, because the sound is the best close to the desk. Duh. And we are rocking away. There's no one in front of us and not beside us, because we are giving it horns. And I could just check that the sound engineer go like this. So no, she's definitely one of a kind.
Okay, so another thing I'd love to know about is the evolution of, I mean, you get called Ghapi, Chappie, Ghapi, Groupie. What was the evolution of Ghapi?
So I'm a born Durbanite. My
I
folks,
did not know that.
yes, born in Durban, and for the first part of my life, my folks moved up to Pretoria in the mid '70s. My dad's in the building trade. The building trade down the coast was like terrible. Moved up, and my dad always said that I was as busy when I was like a little boy. I was like a terror. I was always eating. I was always biting someone. I was like a bully. I was screaming, running around, a terrorist.
But you're so calm now.
I know.
It's all an
Things
act.
change.
Things change.
But anyway, so my dad loves fishing. And he said that,
Okay.
so my real name is obviously Philip Botha. And he said, I'm as busy as a guppy fish. A guppy fish is like all over the place. It's a colorful small little fishy. And it's always doing this. And they said, well, you make me think of a guppy. So, and that stuck with me all through my life, through primary school, through high school, through varsity. And everyone calls me Ghapi except Ingrid. She doesn't call me Ghapi. She calls me Philip.
When I
But
say
my
Ghapi,
folks-
he knows he's in big trouble.
Yeah. Now there's a way she says it that I know I'm in big trouble.
Ghapi?
She doesn't have to say anything. The eye says it all. But it's interesting. In the black culture, they call me spot on Ghapi every time. They won't even know who I am. Hey, Ghapi, play us a song, man. In the English culture, in general, not a problem.
Just Dozi.
But man, in Afrikaans, everyone calls me either Dozi or Chappie or Chappie or Goopy or Geeky. People latch onto you or they like you because of your personality and who you are, and they start liking your music. That's what I perceive from the industry.
100%.
I started managing Georgia in 1999. And everybody was like, oh, no, you don't do business with family. And I'm like, oh, no, let's just look at all the Greeks. Let's just look at all the Jews. Let's just look at all
Italians.
the Italian people,
All the
Portuguese
Lebs.
people. They all do business with one another. But let's go learn from them how it's done. So it's a thing of having respect in a business situation. So office hours or at a gig, it is business. You are just the brand. I am the manager. So there's no husband-wife relationship when it comes to work. And in the beginning, he struggled a lot because we would like be in the office fighting about. So we have the same vision, but he wants to climb up the mountain this side, and I think there's a shortcut going straight here.
She
So
normally has a shortcut.
I always have a
She
shortcut.
normally has the better way.
So we'd be like,
I've learned to accept that now in my life.
Yeah, it must be very challenging, obviously, trying to separate the two.
for me, it's easy. For him, it was difficult.
it was difficult for
So
him.
I taught him that I can be yelling at you in the office, and I close the door and I walk out of there and I'm like, hey, hoe was jou dag? And he's like, no, but we're fighting. I'm like, no. The fight stayed in the office, and that fight will carry on tomorrow morning at 8.
Yeah.
Now you are just my husband, no business.
That would be probably something I would struggle with. So has there ever been a time where that's been very difficult for you to leave your emotions and your feelings behind just before you get on stage? Because
Yeah.
I know that a lot of artists struggle with that. And
Probably with my brother's bike accident. I mean, our whole life we were with our brothers in the Georgia band, and then when he had that huge big bike accident in Sun City, that was from there on. I mean, I found him on the accident scene, so it's not a cool thing. That's a thing that you remember.
yeah.
And that is something that stayed with me for a very long time. So to try and leave that and not think of that when you are working, that sort of stifles your creativity
Yeah.
in a sense, So it's trying to put trauma aside, or trying to say if there's hassles between Ingrid and I. That's a difficult thing to do when your heart is breaking, or when there's so much confusion in your head, but you have to try and focus and entertain people. And I suppose that's why some artists or some entertainers can't deal with it. That's why they off themselves.
When was there a point even in your teens or in your career, where you felt like your stage presence was just bigger than normal gigs, or where it was meant for stadiums? Was there like a
I've always, as a little boy, I've always loved music. I've always been into. I was always dreaming about when we would make it, and then we grew up in a family where everyone played. Everyone was a musician. We played with our folks. At a very young age, we performed with big popular acts in South Africa, especially at that time in the country scene. We did a lot of country shows where we backed all these Lance James and Bobby Angel and Tommy Dell and Sally Field, Barbara Ray, all these well-known artists. So you exposed to that world at a very young age. So it becomes natural to you. Also, you also move in a world where drink and drugs and women, that's
Gets thrown at you.
yeah,
A
it's
consistent
all of it.
Yes.
temptation.
Yeah.
So I never really thought of myself as this persona on stage. And then remember, I'm a drummer. So the drummer always sits there in the back. Yes, I sang, but the drummer is not in
Not
front.
the front man.
And that was like Phil Collins, just when we started doing a lot of gigs, Phil Collins basically started doing really well. He was always the drummer for Genesis, and then Peter Gabriel left and he became the front man. So, I mean, I looked up to Phil Collins, or looked at him, and I thought, well, that can also work, but I'm already singing. So you don't think of it. And then when my folks left, and it was just the three brothers as Georgia doing only English music through the 90s, you're part of a band. So you don't think of your stage persona. You just want to have a good time, rock and roll, and make money, and buy a car or go to the movies. Have money, and that was the case. I always joke and say that every artist, their career always depends on the 3 Ds:
Just say it nicely, please.
drink, drugs,
And dames, which is ladies.
and dames. What in Afrikaans?
Yeah, I know
So we
which
don't-
one.
But in any case,
You've said that to me before.
There's an ugly version of it.
I think I'm going to add.
We're going to go to an ad break.
I'm going to go to.
Where's the box?
Yeah, I'm going to add
The box.
the E to it as well, because ego. A lot of times, ego is a killer for someone's career.
100%, yeah.
And because you lose sight of where you want to go. I mean, I remember mid 90s, more to the end of 90s. My youngest brother was in a bike accident. He's now staying with my folks, but I mean, he doesn't play it like he used to because of the brain damage. But life goes on, and life. All right. And he goes, I remember being super concerned when he came home one day and he said that Just Ginger asked him to be the bassist for the band. I'm thinking, dude, we're like a team, and now you want to go off and go play for Brent and them, and it was like, I felt like hurt. We've been together. We're in this boat together. We're fighting. But it's like Ingrid said, if you don't share the same goals, if you're not all pulling in the same direction, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
So I know with all of that, especially with the Ghapi brand and project and everything, you've been a huge asset to his career, and a lot of it is majority of the work that goes behind the scenes. So how much of the dream was really yours?
I think there was a time where the dream was 100% mine. I think there were times where we were equally in on the dream. So they split up in 2004. So I would say actually, you're kind of from 2002, things got really bad within the band, with me and some of the band members. It became really difficult. Things were going south very fast. So since 2002, my relationship with Andries we didn't speak to one another for years. So
Andries is my younger.
Is the younger brother.
He's the middleest.
So that's the brother
So
that I was friends with, who introduced me. So
he's a phenomenal musician, great singer,
incredible
fantastic
musician,
guitarist, very good musician.
But he kind of lost his way. And when he lost his way, things just went horribly wrong, and it kept on going wrong. And so the one side was like, this is my business and you're hurting my business. And on the other side is this is my husband and you are hurting my husband. So, and I was under the impression that Andries was the problem. So I was trying to fix and trying to heal and trying to help Andries because he was the problem. And the more I tried to fix and heal and blah, 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 try all of this to make it work, the more it was petrol on the fire because you know that saying where they say the road to hell is paved by good intentions? So I had all the good intentions of saving the band, helping him get through his struggles and his issues and getting him back on the right track. And the more I tried to help, the more he felt as though she's just smothering me and she's judgmental and blah, blah, blah. So he walked into the house and he said, Georgia's done with. I'm like, that was like a brick in my face. And then I'm like, okay, no problem. No problem. I took my phone. I immediately started phoning guitar players. Immediately. I was like, no problem. No worries. We're going to build a new band. We'll think of the name. We'll have an album out by January. No worries. So that was July 2004. There was a time where I felt that I was living his dream. He no longer had the dream. He became very comfortable with, oh, I have this incredible wife and this incredible manager.
No, you take things for granted.
Yeah. So I would like work for 48 hours nonstop, no work. And he would be like,
ball bucking.
do nothing. So he just rocks up and he plays and he's like arrogant and horrible human being and I'm like working my bum off to get things going and to help the band.
We all go through phases in our life that we are arseholes. And then the main thing is that you realize that you're an arsehole and then you fix it.
Yeah.
In COVID.
Yeah, sure.
COVID.
That was like a tough one.
And COVID was like for everyone. I actually started resenting him because I gave up all my dreams. I gave up everything that was important to me. So I was a professional dancer. I used to write. I still do, but for a time.
So she writes under a pseudonym.
Yeah.
No one knows who she
He
is.
doesn't
Not
even
even
know.
I do.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't know. She does not want to tell me.
So I write plays. I write
So when
books.
she leaves the house, you're like,
No, but anyway, in COVID, it's like I gave up all my dreams to live his dream. And then in COVID, you sit at home and you're like, okay, but who am I? And what have I achieved? And here I am. I have no job. Nothing. We're all sitting at home and you have a lot of time to think.
Yeah, too
and I'm
much.
like, I threw away everything that I am for him. And did he ever deserve it? And the way there was at one point in 2017, we almost got divorced. And it was like,
I was an arsehole.
yes, you are using such a nice
cute one
word. He was not that. It was way worse. But because I respect myself, I will not use such language.
But you know that, did you ever watch the dinosaur series with the dinosaurs?
no.
She wasn't born then. So remember, she's way younger than us.
Wrong one. Remember, I'm the young one.
The baby dinosaur always said, you gotta love me.
No. There are times where you just don't love your husband.
But I also think with the whole COVID chaos, I mean, a lot of people that were out of work and that couldn't work, I think a lot of people went through that thing where, who am I?
I think there was a
Why-
crazy amount of
Yeah.
introspection and
And I realized that my identity, I thought my identity was all me being
Yeah.
this musician, rock star in my own head, and you're not. You nothing.
Yeah.
You can't even make money and buy a bread for your family.
Yeah.
You feel useless.
yeah.
You know, so I had to take a good hard look at myself.
Yeah.
And then out of that, the phoenix need to rise again. You need to get up and dust yourself off and start clapping it again.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you start doing things differently, and you look at things in a different way, which is great. And I think that's what the Lord does. The Lord causes an explosion in your life, and there's a huge big thing that happens, and it forces you to move on to the next thing, next part of your journey, your life, where you grow.
Yeah.
Until you get complacent again, and then a bomb goes off. The Lord is like that. And then every time that bomb goes off, it forces you to do something different.
Yeah.
Look how cool it is with you now with the EGGSTA. I mean, you came to me when we were writing songs together for Scallum and we're working together. You came to me with the EGGSTA concept.
Yeah.
And here you're sitting and you've got this podcast now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's super cool how things lead you down the road, and it leads you to the next big thing. You know, so
100%.
and I'm only wishing you loads of success with your EGGSTA brand.
Thank you.
And when I heard it and when I saw it the first time, I thought, "Phew, that's cool." You know, so it's interesting how things happen in life that makes you either make the decision to change or you cannot.
100%. I agree. So, speaking a bit earlier about you being a singing drummer and also about dinosaurs, the team here at Canned Olive made you guys a special little lunchbox with some new double G drumsticks for you.
Double D.
Double G.
Double G.
Yeah, for the exclusive drumstick.
Okay, and the
And
egg.
then that's for Ingrid.
Oh, look at my hawk. That's beautiful. And I have an egghead. See?
Yeah, there you go.
Can you see the resemblance?
So Ingrid, I know that also as his manager, there are probably tons of skeletons in the closet.
Yes.
Are you happy to share some of those, or should we keep that door shut?
Well, it depends on where you want to go.
Let's go
Skeletons.
extremely deep.
So,
There's been a woman that wanted to have my kids.
there were many of them.
Okay, a couple.
So did she hug you and
But
just
no,
quickly
but she
grab a piece of
said
hair?
to him straight to his face, "I want your babies." So we had to get a restraining order against the lady who sat outside our house. Yo, that's weird. We
At a certain stage, our house was known as the swingers' house because of all the coke. And when we had huge big bride parties, people used to bonk each other. Or
But can
sniff
I just
coke in
quickly
our-
say
in our
something?
loos.
So just to put this into perspective, I am very conservative, very. I've never had alcohol in my life. I have
People they don't really
because
believe that.
I've been
It doesn't
thrown
look
out
it.
of clubs dead
Yeah.
sober, and people are like, "Oh, check that drunk chicken." I'm like, "I'm not drunk. I'm just having a great time," and I can remember everything, and I'm 100% there. I've never done drugs except Winston cigarettes. I used to smoke a lot, and I loved every single drag. I've stopped 10 years ago. I still miss it. Picture this. Loved smoking. But back to the question of some
Of
some
skeletons in the closet.
How about the lady who told the kids that you were their father? She would show up at gigs with her kids, and she would shove the baby into his arms, and she's like, "They missed you so much. They haven't seen you for a week."
And it always freaked me out because when someone gives me their baby, their child,
They usually
want to
scream.
take a picture, they start
They cry.
bawling their eyes out and screaming and going crazy. That's an uncomfortable thing. I don't want to stand there with someone else's child screaming, messing his snot all over me. So I always
And then her
it freaked me
husband,
out.
Yeah.
and then her husband threatened me with the mafia. That he's going to get the mafia to take me out.
I was going to get the Italian mafia to take us out.
Because I told him to get his wife off my husband. And then he turned on me and said, "I'm going to have you taken out by the mafia." And I'm like, "You need to send very strong people because you have never, ever met the wrath of Ingrid Botha."
Goodness gracious me. It sounds like I've had some very chilled performances compared to some of the things that you...
Well, look, there's definitely some more skeletons in the closet.
Way more.
Well, one of the things I want to know is that a lot of people have bragging rights about places that they've performed at and stuff. And there was one super bizarre place that you performed at where some crazy things happened that you were even shot at. Tell us a bit about that.
But I mean, that's not a skeleton in the closet.
Yeah, but
that's like
that's
an
the next
adventure.
question.
This is an
Yeah,
adventure.
but still, that's something.
So I was, Ingrid organized a gig for a lady that we knew from our younger days that did well in the States. She was part of the Rockstar Supernova TV program, reality series, and she did really well. And then she started touring all over the world, and she came to South Africa, and Ingrid organized the tour. She put the whole tour together for her, and my band and myself were her backing band, and then we also did the front act.
Yeah.
And while she was here, while Delana was here in South Africa, her
I love Delana.
her management phoned and said that they want to book her in Afghanistan. And her Los Angeles band just said, no, there's like a war going on there. And
And we're like, we're from South Africa.
yeah, and I said to Delana, well, hey, we've South Africans, we used to getting shot at every now and then.
Yeah.
And we're sitting you know where I'm sitting? I'm sitting left in front. So she booked us for the gig in Afghanistan. We did an Afghanistan tour. We flew to Dubai, did gigs in Dubai. From there, went to Kandahar, did gigs in Kandahar. From there, went to Kabul. And I mean, you would sit in, you would be busy doing the gig, and then a missile will be going, the sirens would go off. Everybody's partying, and it's like really cool. The sirens go off, and then everyone just hits the deck. And it's like, they're shouting at you, get down, get down. And then you hear the thing go over, and it hits, and the ground shakes a bit. And then after a little while, the siren goes off again, and everyone just gets up and parties on further. So it's, or you would go to bed at night, and you would say a little prayer, and you'd think, okay, Lord, will you please look after me tonight? Because right next to your room, there's this big concrete wall. You know, like when you're on the highway, you get these barriers so that the cars don't cross and bump
into each other. Yeah.
It's the same thing there, but just like 4 times the size. So that if a bomb falls next to you, that the shrapnel gets stopped. So it doesn't mess you up. But then sometimes it does. The missile falls on where you're sleeping, and then you're screwed.
Oh, what a way of life, huh?
So, but I mean, chicks would walk around there with M16s, or you'd see the tanks drive past the whole time, or a missile would go over the base, and then the next moment you just see all these F-16s or fighter jets flying, and you just hear stuff being blown up. It's surreal. Food is great.
The food was good.
It's great.
We had like a really great meal, and then just had missiles shot at us.
They had awesome gym facilities. But yeah, there was, but met really cool people there. And so I've been able to see some really interesting things because of what I do. And the best thing about it is always on someone else's dime. So the Canadian government paid for that.
Yeah.
It was interesting. They said to us, we will go into everything about you.
So they say to us, they're going to tap our phones. They say it to you up front. They ain't going to read all your emails, all your Google searches,
So that's
everything
that's real.
you do.
You only see it in the movies. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, so you might also be on a list somewhere because of me.
We might still be
You should have
tapped.
told me this before I invited you to be here. Okay.
So hopefully there's no skeletons in your closet, Eden.
Ingrid, what's the most compromising position you found your husband in as a rock star?
I think probably when in my early stages of Ghapi, not being able to, I don't want to offend anyone, and then someone would like stick their child in my
Arms.
or ladies would want to kiss me, or they would like pull at their breasts and say sign here. And then
You feel very compromised.
if it's not a nice breast,
You're like, I'll try the other one.
Can I see?
Bring your friend.
Can I,
Maybe that's a better one.
which side is the better one? You know, or guys hitting on me. And a lot of times, Ingrid has been there to help me. But someone and
So can I just say, so Dozi has got this, he's got this thing that he kisses everybody on the mouth. Whether you male, whether you female, no matter what.
See, that's why they try, because they're like, Dozi.
So Dozi has kissed him a couple of times.
You
like,
gotta kiss.
boom.
You gotta. If you're a man, you gotta kiss a man at least once or twice.
And then Gian has kissed you a couple of times.
A couple of
The
people.
designer.
Yeah, no, a couple of people have kissed me.
A couple of guys.
I'm a loving guy, you know.
On that note, we're going to take a little break to acknowledge our sponsors. We'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're going to play a little game that the producers have put together called Egg Out. The idea of this game is you guys are going to have to put water in your mouth. But this is a special edition version specifically made for you, where they have given me some Afrikaans words. And if you laugh, that raw egg is all yours.
So we no laughing then.
No laughing.
I'm not allowed to laugh at you speaking Afrikaans.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Rude.
No, your Afrikaans suck.
Alrighty, are you ready?
Yes.
Are we ready? Let's go. Ek wil graag 'n warm borsrol hê. I can see it. It's coming out. I can see little dribbles. They're coming out. Blou bobbejaan byt is nie baklei nie. 66 slim. Why was that funny? That was like the best I've spoken so far. No? 66 slim slange, slinging, stadig suidwaarts. All right, well, I didn't manage to get them to spit the water out, so it looks like I will be the one having the egg.
Yes. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank goodness that you didn't. That wasn't like the brief.
Ingrid, if I have to do this, you have to watch.
Okay. Well, good luck to you.
Oh,
My
Let me open up the water.
saliva is like growing thick in my mouth. Just the thought of drinking it.
cheers. Oh.
I have lots of respect for EGGSTA.
And thank you so much to Ingrid and Ghapi for joining us.
Thanks for inviting us.
It's
Appreciate
been
it. Thanks for
lovely
the
having you
opportunity.
here.
This has been a different interview.
Yeah, it's
And it's the first interview that I've ever done where my wife spoke more than what I did, which is good because there's an Afrikaans saying that weet waar bly jy?
yeah,
Jy bly stil. So I kept quiet, let my wife do the talking.
It was awesome to hear a lot of your perspective on things too this time, though. So, yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thanks to everyone listening at the bowl. We loved having you in the mix. Stay excellent and keep it sunny side up.
On that farm, he had an egg.